Okay, Dave, so how luck have you done this time? Full marks for the first page. Nothing wrong there, well done. Okay, so a quadrilateral, which has exactly two lines of symmetry, looking for a four-sided shape. And for this one, you're looking for a triangle. You're not drawing a triangle there. You're trying to draw a three-dimensional shape. Have a look at what I've done on the video clip for that. Right, when you're trying to make a smallest four-digit number, you want the largest digits to be in the units column. So if that 8 was there and that was there, you'd end up with a smaller number. Here you're looking for an odd number. You've got a 2 in the units column, which makes it even. So you need to switch the 2 and the 5 around. That is correct. That isn't though, because it's not going to round to that at all. It's either going to round to 4,700 or 4,800. So 4,600 is completely wrong. That's correct. That's correct. That's not. Your woman is weighing over half a ton. 60 kilograms would be the weight of a woman. This is too far. Paris to London is about 250 miles, which is about 340, but that is right. So you're getting 2 there. So total for that page, 2, 4, 7. That is correct. Have a look at my video to see how I've explained that. 48, 6, 154. So those are right. This is wrong though. Yes, each year is an increase, but each year was the previous year's year 7. So last year's year 7 is bigger than this year's year 7. The year 7 before that are now in year 9, which are bigger than the one before, the one after, and so on. So you haven't read the graph correctly for that. 5 marks for the page. That is correct, that is correct. 43 is the number, well done. No, this one is wrong. Not sure where you got the 15 from. What you're doing here is adding 5 and 6h together to get 11h, and then taking 4h off, which leaves you at 7h. So that one's not right. That one is. That one is. Now, you are multiplying the x number by 4 to get the y number. So here, you've got to do the same thing. A times 4. Or you could write it as 4a. This is not right. There aren't 15 cubes in total. What you have to do is count the front layer that you can see all the cubes for. So the front layer, you're going to have 1 cube, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cubes, and there are 3 layers of cubes, so there are 21 cubes altogether, and the units of centimeter cubes is cm3. So you need cm3 there, and you need 21. So you're not getting either of those marks. 70 degrees is out. Okay, angle ABC is this angle here. So you would put the center of your angle measure there, line up the 0 and see that it's 60 64 degrees, so that your 70 is too far out. Total for that page, 2, 4, 6, 7. PQR means P is going to be somewhere, there's Q, there's R. So your angle is starting at Q. So you put the center of the protractor on the letter that's in the middle, which is Q. Line up the 0 with the rest of the line, and you want to measure out 136. So you're going up the blue scale, there's 130, there's 140, there's 136. So the angle it wants you to draw is that one. Okay, so P to Q to R is that angle there, 136. What type of angle is it? Well, they want you to write there either the word acute, obtuse, or reflex. Acute would be an angle smaller than 90 degrees. Obtuse is between 90 and 180, which is what that one is. If it was bigger than 180, it would be a reflex. Okay, so question 9. You've got 7 full crates, which is correct, but your addition is wrong, so the number of jugs left is wrong as well. That is correct, and so is that. So you've got 4, 6 marks for the page. $30 miles is correct. This isn't. Now you need to know how many minutes each little square represents. And each little square, you're going 60 minutes in 10 little squares. So each little square would be 60 divided by 10, which is 6 minutes. So that's going to be wrong, and that's going to be wrong for the same reason. And to explain the speed, what you need to be talking about is how steep the line is. The steeper the line, the faster he is traveling. So what you've written there isn't good enough to get those marks either. 15:29 to 17:23 is correct, but that's not how much time it is. It's 1 hour 54. So you're going to score 1 out of the 2 marks there. Someone singing very badly outside my window. So sorry about that. Where am I? 11B. Okay, so he arrives 14:55 and goes on the 15:29 train. No, because he is arriving at Reading. Okay, so he's not arriving at Swindon, he's arriving at Reading. So you need to be reading from there, reading from Reading. So if I keep going with what you've done, the 15:29 takes 1 hour 20 to get there. No, so you're not getting the right things going on there. Have a look at my solution for that. 2 marks for the page. You missed, right, those are odd numbers, okay? You need to be talking to me there about what the prime number is. Prime number is a number that only has itself and 1 as a factor, and there is an even number that's the case, which is the number 2. So you need to be telling me that 2 is an even number, but it's also prime. That is correct. 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's correct. So you've done that. Now what you need to do now is fill in the missing gaps. I was telling you in the question that you get that by the sum of the 2 numbers. Sum means add. So you can see there, they've done one for you to show you. 5 add 4 is 9. So to fill in these, if you mark those there rather than on the gaps, 2 add 3 is 5, 3 add 3 is 6, and so on. You can't answer the rest of that question unless you've completed that table. That is correct. That is correct. That one's wrong. If you think that's rounded off to a half, 0.5, round that to 120. A half of 120 is 60. So that's actually got the decimal point there in the same as the previous one. 3 for the page. Okay, your points are in the right place, so you get the 2 marks there. It is positive. Your line of best fit is a straight line, and it doesn't join the dots, it just follows the general growth of the dots, the general line that they're in. So you want a sort of line that looks something like that. And from your line of best fit, 3600 would be right. Your enlargement is correct, but it's not, you haven't used the center correctly. What you have to do is you work out the distance from that center point to where your original starts, 2 squares, and then multiply that by the scale factor to tell you where to start your new enlargement. So that is 2 squares, so it's going to start there. So your shape should start in that direction and go down like that. So that's wrong. That's an incorrect reflection on an incorrect mirror line. If that was a reflection, then the mirror line would be there and your triangle would look like that. The mirror line they want you to use is the line x equals 1, which is the line where the x coordinate is always 1, which is along that line. If that's your mirror line, then your triangle is going to look like that. So you're not going to pick up any marks there, unfortunately. So 2, 4, 6 for the page. That is a rotation of 90 degrees clockwise, but it isn't rotating using that point there as the center. Okay, what you need to do there is get your tracing paper, draw the shape on your tracing paper, put a little arrow pointing upwards. Now you know 90 degrees clockwise, that has to be pointing in that direction. Press your tracing paper on the point that you're turning around and then rotate it, and that's where it needs to end up. Okay, so you're only going to get 1 of the 2 marks for that. And on the back, that's not right. It is add 6 to each number, but that's not how you find. That means that it's a 6n rule. Okay, because you're adding 6, and then because the first term is 1 less than that, you have to take 1 off. We'll be doing a lot of practice on that, so don't worry too much about that now. So 0 for the last page. Total for the paper, David, is 7, 14, 19, 26, 32, 34, 37, 43, 44. 44 out of 100 would be a grade F. Okay, but if we include your first paper where you got 86 out of 100, then overall you would have 130. Which is a grade D, 10 marks off a grade C. Okay, so 10 marks off a grade C. So what we've got to make sure now is that you can close the gap between how you perform on a test and how you can perform in a homework.